Hello, my name is Shahir and this is my presentation on Findus and IMC. Within this presentation, I'll be discussing the horse meat scandal, the PR disaster, stakeholders internal and external, issue resolved, customer relation management, marketing mix and CRM, building a future with IMC, and a little summary to end it all off. Right, the horse meat scandal. These are a couple of screen dumps on a few major websites about how large the actual scandal was. Just shows to how big the actual scandal became and how widely covered the media took it. The horse meat scandal itself. It's a little background on what actually happened. On the 16th of January 2013, the Food Standards Agency of Ireland had announced that they had made a discovery that beef burgers were found with traces of equine DNA, alongside one product which had been classified as 29% horse, had been supplied to supermarkets through Silvercrest Foods in Ireland and Delpac Hambleton in Yorkshire. So these are both subsidiaries of ABP Food Group. 10 million burgers are taken off the shelves by retailers, including the likes of Tesco, Little, Aldi, Iceland and Dunnes Stores. On the 17th of January, ABP Food Group decided to suspend work at its Silvercrest Foods plant in County Monaghan, Ireland, until further notice. On the same day, supermarkets such as Sainsbury's, Asda and the Co-op withdrew some frozen products as a precaution. However, no evidence of selling contaminated food had been seen. By the 30th of January, the Food Standards Agency stated that the Irish authorities believed that the filler product, which was made from horse meat and beef, which were discovered in the contaminated burgers, had been actually originated from Poland. By the 4th of February, the Department of Agriculture confirmed that the second meat supplier in Ranglan Foods in County Monaghan production had been halted after it had transpired that 75% of equine DNA had been discovered in raw ingredients. They then called in the police to help the investigation, which could possibly include fraud, as ABP Food Group is estimated to have lost around £39 million in contracts. On the 7th of February, the FSA had announced a case of gross contamination with Findus UK beef lasagnas had been sent to contain 100% horse meat, which had been found in which had been produced by Comigo. By Valentine's Day, 3 men were arrested at Farm Boxer Meats, and after it had emerged that a significant amount of horse meat was contaminated with phenylbutazone, or bute for short, may have entered the human food chain, posing potential health risks. Right, this infographic shows how horse meat entered beef products via Comigo in France. Comigo asked its subsidiary Tavola in Luxembourg to make its food products, which include lasagna meant for Findus. Tavola orders its meat from a company called Spanghero to make its products. Spanghero contacts a subcontractor in Cyprus to source their meat. The Cypriot subcontractor then contacts a trader in the Netherlands. Those traders place orders for meat with abattoirs in Romania. The meat is then transported to Spanghero. Spanghero then sends the meat to Tavola, which is where the finished product is supplied to Findus and retailers across Europe, such as Tesco's and Aldi. This supply chain shows how the effect began from the abattoirs in Romania all the way to the retailers and consumers in the UK. However, this could have benefited traditional high street butchers if they had used the opportunity to present themselves as trustworthy homegrown meat suppliers. The Romanian abattoir claimed that they had not wrongfully described horse meat as beef, as the Romanian authorities also back up their claims by suggesting that their records show that orders had been made for horse carcasses. Supermarkets are unlikely to see any effects of real value from this scandal, as they claim compensation from their suppliers, whilst they may have seen a drop in certain lines of foods. Other areas will profit from this, therefore supermarkets will not really feel the pinch. PR disaster. Our chefs take painstaking care to ensure our recipes are developed to the highest standard We use only the best ingredients and a generous pinch of imagination. This is what was found stated on Findus's website. Neil Saunders, managing director of the retail researcher Conlumino, commented saying, "Findus is a food brand associated with ready meals. So when customers stand in front of a freezer in a supermarket, they have lots of choice. People will look at the whole brand as tarnished, and it will affect other products." Findus's parent group, Lion Capital, stated the impact of the horse meat recall was minimal. Fish and seafood account for approximately 2/3 of Findus's revenue. The product recall only marginally impacted performance, as the company is predominantly a fish and vegetable-led business, and the reduction of sales is in meat-based products was offset by fish sales. The company's reaction to the saga was less than desirable, as on their website they still had images of their beef lasagnas, which was the topic of hot discussion. On the 14th of February 2013, they had put up a PDF to link on their website for all their customers for all their letter of all their customers. Within this was a statement of apology, along with confirmation that the withdrawn beef lasagna had not, in fact, been contaminated with phenylbutazone. This was, in a small way, damage control, but this PR alone is not sufficient enough to relay the message to the masses. In a final statement of apology, Findus state that they were unaware and shocked at the horse meat revelation in their beef lasagnas, and promise they will make sure this scandal is not repeated. They also state that that they had fallen victim to fraud by one of their meat suppliers, most possibly the French food supplier Comigo, which Tesco and Aldi had withdrawn their interest in the early developments of the scandal. This infographic shows what consumers spend on beef. The chilled ready meal market is valued at £388.8 million. Findus may see this that they would have lost some market share in this category. However, as stated earlier, the market share only accounts for around 2/3 of their actual revenue. Moving on to the stakeholders. External stakeholders which would have been affected by the current events would have been suppliers, customers and society. The reason why I believe customers would fall into category D, which is the greatest danger opportunity line specialists, is that the people who will bring, these are the people who bring the company the most income. They are the ones whom the company are trying to please, therefore they are the opportunity. They can also be the greatest danger to a company, as they can be very fickle, meaning that without proper CRM strategies in place or customer retention procedures, they may fail to switch to a competitor. Suppliers have been placed in category E, which is minimal effort, as even though they are part of the lifeblood of a company, they aren't the be-all and end-all. Switching to a different supplier is moderately straightforward, therefore isn't a huge obstacle. Society has been placed in category F, which is keep informed / individual employees, as they only keep interest in a company when there's negative press about them. In some cases, there may be an argument that they could be easily be placed in category H, which is key players / line specialists, as when people begin to talk amongst themselves about experiences or stories they may have heard, then word of mouth can spread very quickly. If it is not negative kind, it can cripple a company overnight, such as the Northern Rock demise. Internal stakeholders who would have been affected by these current events would be employees, owners and stakeholders. Owners and stakeholders have been both placed in category G, which is keep satisfied and / top management / specialist personnel, as they both have a high level of interest and high level of power. Both of these need to be kept satisfied, as, like the owner, the shareholder would want to have their input in whatever the company does in order to churn out a return on their investment. Employees have been deemed to fit to category E, which is minimal effort, as although they may reserve a lot of interest in the company they work for, they do not actually have the power entitled to them to have any real impact on procedures and proceedings. As a precautionary measure, on Monday, we coordinated a full withdrawal of our affected beef lasagna in the following sizes: 320 kg,